about the Annunaki and the pyramids, the Roswell crash and the aliens, Nikola Tesla, the electric grid, ancient knowledge lost, now revealed again. All the pieces of the puzzle that were never found, secrets that were buried in the ground, in the temples and the catacombs, the evidence and proof that the facts are known. If we understood the hidden truth of reality, the mystery of sacred geometry, the holographic nature of the universe, and how they use the technology to prove it works. But the 1% got it on lock, from the universities to the whole block. They got a vice grip on the information, so we never see the truth and the correlation. I'm just a man in a world of lies who wants to see through to the other side, and that's the reason why I had to write this, to shine a light and maybe try to fight the crisis.
Signal drip to the prism. Listen, my vision revision. It's time splits in dimensions. I'm bending like infinite digits and cylinders spinning. The synapses, syntax is drifting in glyphs and a mist with the myths and the science of kissing it. Mind in a spiral, viral, firing hieroglyph diaries, binary choirs and wires, higher than giants and tyrannies, quietly violent with violence, giants defying the silence. I pilot the climate, the Thomas Elias in defiance. Ancient equations and Asian invasions of stars, carving the margins of carbon and bars of the gods, harder than armor and darker than harbor memoirs, part of the arc with the sparks of the scars of the lost. They wanna partition the heart from the art and the mind. Start with the chart, then they market is mine. Harvest the harvest and target the target with lies. God in the garden, what part and it's harder to find. I'm in the rift with the gift to get lifted and shifted. Twisted depictions of distance get instant encryption. Language is dangerous, anguishing angles of angels, tangled in tangents where Mantis Mechanics are speaking. Fractals unravel, battle with cattle and capital cattle. Rattle the lattice of habits, the rabbit holes travel through shadows. Data with matter, patterns that scatter like shrapnel. Shatter the channel of manacles, fasten the ankles. You see the system is rhythm, a prison with minimal windows, written in riddles that fiddle with middle of limbo credentials. Symbols tremble, resemble a temple of mental potential, sent through a stencil of pencils and temples. I'm not a prophet, I profit from logic and optics, dropping the topics that toxic monopolies profit. They lock it in pockets and profit from profits they pocket. Rocket the rockets while mocking the rocket, clocking the cortex, vortex of forces that orbit the orbit. Portals contorted, imported distortion of morals and mortars, orders from quarters of borders that torture the quarters. War with the war is the core of the corporate disorder. But I'm a sovereign organism, forming enormous performance, storming the fortress of sources, the source, all the sources, torching the torches of forces that force us to forfeit, fortune, extortion, distorted for fortunes of fortunes. I'm forging the origin story, glory and gory, allegories of glory and worry, orally pouring a roar of euphoria over the story. Horror is born in the morning, a moral authority, frequency fencing with tension, dimension, invention, dimension, extension, suspension of pension, prevention. I'm in the engine, vengeance is ending the ending conventions, sending ascension to sentence, a sentence of tension. Not into science, of alliance of science and spirit, giant defiance of bias that science inherits. Silence is violence when giants decide what you merit. Tyrants with licenses tighten the silence they cherish. So I'm rewriting the writing they cited as final and flawless, finding the timeless and rhymes that align with the lawless, climbing the climate of primates and pirates and pilots. Violence is mindless, but kindness is timeless and wildest. Annunaki may be metaphor, maybe memory, enemy energy, entity mentally, whether they literally visited physically or just a symbol of power and poverty mentally. Either way, we awake when we break from the chains, when we change how we name what they framed as the game. Not a war with the world, it's a war with the frame. When the mind is reclaimed and the throne is reclaimed, I'm not here to destroy, I deploy a deployable joy, annoying the void with a voice that avoids being void. If truth is a toy, then I'm breaking the box it was in, then clocking the clock to the lock, so the lock's finally banned. Rifting the system, I'm shifting the system with wisdom. Listen, the mission is lifting the vision of prisons. If gods were just men, then the men were just myths in the distance. If myths were just codes, and the codes were just keys to existence. So breathe in the ether, neither believer nor leader, either a teacher, a creature, or features of features. I'm speaking in meters that eat up the speakers and meters. So freedom is deeper than either the dreamer or dreamer.
Annunaki, Annunaki, all of my people be talking about Annunaki, Annunaki, all of my people be talking about Annunaki.